It's your boy Tunes Wasted here, and today I'm bringing you some mother freaking this shit right here. Here you go, guys. I'm gonna let you guys watch this. I'll full screen it for you guys. There you go. Optic versus Dream Team. I hope you guys enjoy. It's been your boy Tunes Wasted. Peace. I'm out.
Are calling out the scythe in the midst of the smoke and all the gunfire coming in. He doesn't even get to fire a bullet.
HC's out
at 10 points away. There's 14 on the hard point. They can close it out here. They have to deal with this one push, and this should be game. Optic Gaming should be closing out. Crimson shots there for the ledge. 80-point victory. So that's kind of what you talk about with Optic, man. They start slow, and then they end up somehow getting like those 80 and 100-point victories, despite the fact that it's back and forth, really the entire game till the final couple hard points.
Once they're able to start chaining kills together, you saw it there kind of when they initially got that first 4 down on the second jump wall hard point. That's when things started to turn around. Karma gets fully streaked out. He uses his streaks pretty well, just fending off the players pushing in through bunker. Immediately used his Hellstorm to win the rotation over towards the Rocks hard point. They're able to break in to the bunker hard point, even though there was a scythe used, a purifier as well from Cinder.
Well,
you know, it's easy stuff from Optic Gaming.
That if Cinder, I guess, played that as perfectly as he did, because I mean, he didn't get heat waved. It wasn't a camo player. I think he just was in kind of a rough spot, didn't connect on the shots, and they were able to team fire.
What is it?
3 players pushing.
Slide in. He snaps with the purifier. No longer zoning out that doorway. Optic Gaming just trade that kill perfectly.
Well, last time he kind of had it pre-fired. It was he, got one. They came at him kind of one by one, able to rack up 1, 2, 3, 4, get fully streaked out. There, they just bully him, take him out, and as soon as he dropped, everything kind of, hell broke loose basically for DT. But let's take a look at the scoreboard now for Game 1 between Optic Gaming and Dream Team. We talked about Karma. He gets a minute plus in the hill. He goes plus 11 with 8 defense. Incredible performance from him. And Cinder, that was hot early. He was the one kind of leading the way from DT. He slowed up a little bit. Chino tried to fire back, but look at the difference kind of in the big slayer for DT, their hill time compared to Karma. He gets the slaying done while also doing the dirty work around the hard point.
Yeah, for sure. I completely agree with you there, but great stuff overall from that DT squad. Is now we're going to take a look at some of the highlights. And the crazy thing is, at one point in this game, DT had a pretty good lead. They're up by around like 30 points. They had streaks to use. They had their specialists, but you let Optic Gaming hang around, and they're going to do this to you. You see Killa going big early on first team, using camo pretty well right here as he's going to pop it and pick up a kill, and just defending himself inside the hard point. Good use of smoke grenades. I mean, they won that first bunker hard point, but when it came down to solidifying their position, they used their specialist weapons and just weren't able to clear out that Optic Gaming push and slow them down. And eventually, you let Optic Gaming hang around, and they're going to win the map.
All right, well, Optic putting the first one in the books. And again, this is kind of the key to victory for me in the first time they played was the fact that DT stole the hard point. So now
things a little bit different this time around?
Absolutely. So you're looking at, in my opinion, you're not going to take both of the respawns. So if you're going to win this now, in my opinion, it's coming down to Game 5, which is what's scary about that is that has been the hardest thing in the world for Dream Team. And I don't see them. Maybe the CTF they can take. They would have to. I just don't see them beating them in Uplink, really.
Well, I think the CTF they won against Optic last time was Stronghold. This time around, it's going to be Breach. So those maps play completely differently when you're comparing them in CTF. And now DT, they need to find a way to force that CTF. I mean, how are they going to get it? Is it going to be off the back of like an Uplink win? Well, it's going to be Uplink evac. And, sorry, DT, but I've seen Optic Gaming just completely blow out their opponents on that specific map and game mode. And I think they got to find a way to take this Infection Search and Destroy, which is one of Optic's better S&D maps. I mean, I've made a couple of videos about them on this map. I'm pretty familiar with some of the strategies they're going to bring out, and DT, they're going to need trophy systems if they want a chance in this S&D.
And that's what gets scary, because I know, I've talked with Chino a little bit. He loves Uplink, favorite game mode. This team is a solid Uplink team, and they just love this particular respawn, but Optic's very good when it comes to Uplink.
Is this true?
Yeah, it's they have to win both the S&Ds. They have to. That's the only way I think they're going to take this series potentially, is if DT takes both of them. And like you said, Infection, a strong map for Optic Gaming. So let's talk a little bit, now while we wait for the players to load up. When you talk S&D, Infection, what can DT do? You mentioned trophies, but what else, in the ban protect or just an overall strategy do to disrupt what Optic Gaming likes to do?
So Optic Gaming, what they like to do on the defensive side of things is, they'll start with a double nade toss on that B street just to slow that push down. So you can ban out frag grenades. You can ban out danger close just to limit the effect of that. They like to also have a heavy middle presence. So, I mean, both these guys, they have access to the VODs, they have access to the theater, so they could really go in depth and see exactly where these guys like to play and develop a strategy from there. Hopefully DT have done that. I mean, I would hope they put in the time because now these are must-win matches for them as they're trying to make it out of the relegation zone. But they need to develop a strategy to take middle presence away from Optic Gaming. You saw how complex they decided to approach it, where they had Parasite just kind of slide through and through and, force that player back from the A-bomb site. DT need to do something similar from that, but what Optic Gaming are really best at in Search and Destroy is just trusting their teammates and having covered fire. Trusting them to, look over each other's backs and, they have trust in one another to make the kill.
Awesome. Great to hear. Great analysis as always, Rev, as you're breaking down what you expect here from Game 2. Now, I think we have someone coming in on Twitter, what they expect from this series. Do they think DT can do it? I am quad trains. The bald eagle will soar. He hasn't yet, but if he's going to, S&D needs to be where Killa makes a difference here.
Yeah.
He needs to really kind of put his imprint on this. You heard, even when he filled in for Optic Gaming, at times he was the shot caller. He was playing that leader role.
Playmaker too.
He was filling in for Krim. Yeah, he playmaker, in-game leader. He was doing everything in that Game 5 S&D. They need it here, specifically in Game 2 and 5 in Search and Destroy. But let's swing things. Optic Gaming, DT,
there we go.
Game 2, and I love the concussion protect coming in from Chino.
Just being able to slow the game down, and now I think a great follow-up from DT is you ban perk 3 greed. Then what do? Do you just run straight tac mask, straight blast suppressor, straight dead silence?
See, I love that because make them make a decision. Make them make a decision by banning perk 3 greed, because I don't think it makes sense to go after and just ban tac mask or just ban blast suppressor. Make them decide between those 3 with only having a choice.
Do it, Sender. I know you're talking about it.
Come on. Come on, guys.
High caliber and overclock. Still a chance.
And they've got, so what do we still have? We have to take a look at
Rapid
Rapid Fire will
Fire
be coming off.
All the lethal grenades, all the specialist abilities.
Potentially
Shiva.
Kinetic or Camo might come out as well. There's Rapid.
From Krim.
Yeah, not
So
surprised.
Optic Gaming, they ban out both the attachments. And I think whenever you go up against a team and they take it upon themselves to get rid of high caliber as well as rapid fire, you have such a huge opportunity to swing the ban of protects in your favor.
Oh yeah, I mean they're gonna play their game. Optic doesn't feel like they need to do anything special. They don't need to attack teams. They just want to play their
Killa
game.
missed his ban.
Okay, well that is the opposite of the bald eagle soaring. That does not help make an impact whatsoever. Do you think that's someone just being AFK, not ready to make the choice?
I don't know. I mean, maybe they were just talking about exactly what they wanted to do.
Came down to the wire, not
yeah,
ready.
just try to find exactly what they want to ban. It's going to be Shiva, and Formula actually bans the frag grenades here, so that's interesting because, like I was saying, their go-to defensive plays, they toss 2 early nades down that B street. Maybe they'll try to do it the Semtexes here, but that's a big part to their defensive play.
And you don't see what makes it through too is overkill. We don't see anything with Thermal, the SVG. No one goes after the snipers at all.
Chino likes to snipe from DT.
Well, who do you think has the advantage there? Formal opts to pull it out. Do you
The thing about
Chino or
Optic
Formal?
Gaming is not only does Formal like to snipe, so does Karma.
Yeah. Well, that was a big thing in Advanced Warfare, going back and forth, deciding who was going to be the sniper towards Karma. I think it was Formal to begin. Karma ended up closing out the year, really being their designated sniper. He felt a little more comfortable doing it. I mean, they might bust out too. We saw on Fringe, what was it, with Overkill in the other day, in the 25K final, FaZe had 3 snipers, just going SVG, VMP, because you don't really need many attachments on either of those guns. You can get away with it.
Formal picks up Glitch. That's very interesting
loved it.
because Formal's a player who loves Psychosis in Search and Destroy.
Yeah.
He uses it very consistently. Maybe this is a game where Optic Gaming, they're going to try to do some different things.
Could be.
Like we were saying, they've secured their spot in the Stage 1 playoffs. So, they could try this because, DT, they're going to be trying their hearts out. So you could actually, try some different strategies here and see if, different things will work.
Well, that, kind of what you just said is the kind of the best weapon you have if you're DT right now, right? Maybe Optic will try some new things. Maybe they'll be a little less focused because they've already, sealed their position in the Stage 1 finals. But it didn't look that way in Game 1. Maybe early, but they came back with a vengeance and really closed out that first game. If DT loses this game too, this series is basically over for me. They have to take this. They have to, because I just don't see them taking both the respawns back to back.
We want DT to find a way to force that game 4, right? That's where we're both thinking DT's best chance at really stealing the series away would be with that CTF, maybe a bit of a swing game as well, forcing that game 5. But if there's one thing we know is game 5s haven't been too kind on this dream team.
And this is not the team you want to try to get a victory in a game 5 against.
I mean, it will be hunted, so I guess that's something that might be working a little bit in their favor because, obviously that's one that's, maybe lesser practice than some of the other maps.
Yeah, well, you have Redwood, Hunted, maps that aren't, you don't have any other game modes really that you're going to play on those. And, teams at this level don't really scrim S&Ds at all, infrequently if they do. And a lot of these guys probably saving some tactics for stage 1. April 1st through 3rd, you have the $250,000.
Well, DT need to find a way to make it within the top 8. So I think if I'm DT, I pull out all the stops here. Because you need to qualify before you kind of show your strategies.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you just want to get in. You don't have that cushion where you can worry about saving things. You need to pull out all the stops now to try and get in. Waiting on players to load in here. We'll be ready shortly to kick off S&D Infection. DT's top 8 hopes really just dwindling here. They need a series win. I know this is. I think it was like H2K, DT, and TK. A couple teams had to play like all 3 or 4 top teams to try and get through. I think H2K and DT both in that position where they need to play Optic.
That's why it's
Rise,
so important
FaZe.
to have a hot start to the league.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about coming down to situations where we have to win this, otherwise we won't be in the top 8.
Yeah, and you just don't feel like you're controlling your own destiny, but they still are. If they win out, they definitely are going to be making it in. I do know Formal's going to have the SVG on one side of things.
Chino started with Overkill, but then he switched his class up.
Okay, all right, well now.
So he does have a sniper class made.
Kind of a delayed B push right now. You can see a pretty standard defense from Optic right now. You have one player watching A. I think that's Formal kind of watching middle there with the SVG.
Yeah, more of a heavy mid presence from Optic Gaming. That's what you see from them on this map.
And just this delayed push. Now, who's going to be all the way at that back rock? That's Crimsix playing in the far back, so he is in a good position to apply some pressure to B. But now
stun check.
Should have the battle going on. Scump's going to be the player in this. Got to try and play a little bit of defense. Somehow he's gotten a kill and stayed alive. He re-peaks, but will end up dropping Cinder, able to effectively trade that kill. And Cinder takes out Formal there with the sniper as well. They've got a 3 versus 2 advantage. Killa's got the sight. Killa's got the plant. His teammates just need to cover him here, and Cinder in great position to do so.
Yeah, this is exactly how you want to set up when you're going for the plant over on that B site. You have one guy on the cliff. He can swivel back and forth between the 2 lanes until that bomb goes down. But Cinder, he's going to peek in. Great line of sight once again. Even though Killa falls, you still have the positional advantage to DT here.
Well, 30 seconds on the clock. They're trying to hold this off.
Okay, Chino, you got to watch the streets. There we go.
It's going to come down to this fight between him and Krim. Krim's going to end up taking a 2-1 advantage. Now Cinder's by himself, but he's going to drop as well.
DT gave that round up.
Plenty of time for Optic. And you had what? Bomb down, a 3-on-2 advantage, was it, once they got down?
Players were watching the B site. The player from top cliff was looking over near the bomb, even though you had a teammate on the railings right here with a clear line of sight onto the bomb.
Well, I guess enough time had gone by that he has to be worried about him coming from either side, I suppose, when pushing towards outskirts. But B's the one position he doesn't need to be worried about.
Yeah.
That's a one spot he has covered of the 3 angles he has to deal with. And Krem, props to him, guns it, wins the gunfight first round. Goes to Optic Gaming.
All right, so now it's going to be Optic Gaming on their offensive round. You see 2 trophies, so maybe gearing up for a B push, just stretching out their classes, and they're using double overkill here on Formal and Karma.
Oh, just going to miss that one, but he might be able to catch him as he pushes steps.
Karma,
both them missing. One of you guys please hit a snipe. He just puts it away and says, fine, I'll try and get you with the M8. Not going to be able to connect there, but now it's going to be Scump pushing into the B side. He's not going to win it. Chino, Diabolic, picking up kills. Finally, Formal, able to connect on one. Can't even get a second. The snap not going to be on target, and that is a quick round in favor of
Optic
DT.
are feeling pretty confident with their snipers, man.
Well,
and they're missing their shots.
Feeling confident is very different from confidence working.
Yeah, for sure. But
I think they'll start to heat up though as this one goes on.
I mean, look, if they hit those early snipes within 10 seconds, they're
won the round.
4-2.
Oh yeah, they won the round.
But DT, good response from them. They're able to hold on the defensive side of things. Let's see if Chino decides to bring out his sniper rifle here. Sticking with the M8 by the looks of it. It's actually going to be Diabolic with the sniper. So he's not really a player we see snipe too often. Let's see what he's made of here.
All right, well, he is going to be watching mid, and that's one you got to hit. He's just floating for you there. Not connecting is Diabolic. We see some sloppy sniping coming out of either side right now. Round 3 playing out pretty slowly here. Now, I'll check on my side, take a look through the defense, see what we've got. So, Formal's still going to be sniping. He's going to be watching kind of outskirts here. The player that's pushed up mid-map, applying some pressure with the M8 is going to be Crimsix.
Okay.
He's made enough of a kind of enough of a show here to kind of back them up, scare them away from mid-map, but now you see the aggression coming in from DT. They're pushing out or going to try to get control here of the B site. That's Formal, though, connecting with a snipe. Scump's going to be the man pretty much consistently defending that B bomb site, one of the best in the business when it comes to that.
Yeah, just playing this tight corner. He's going to spot a couple of DT players, and he's like, guys, help. Help, I need some help. I'm trying to stay alive. Everyone's like, Seth, stay alive, just play your life. But
He's stayed alive so long that help has started to come. They're trying to converge, but everyone's going to drop. The help, not going to matter. It's Karma now in a 1v3. He connects with one, but Chino going to close it out, and that is back-to-back rounds for Dream Team.
Yeah, good stuff from them. Just slow, methodical pushes is what we're seeing from Dream Team so far. Just really playing together, working the trades in their favor, and when you're able to open up with the kill like that onto the B site, you can comfortably get the bomb down. You have control of the B street. You know, one thing working against Optic is because they put such a heavy focus on locking down the middle of the map, locking down over near A, they have one guy playing back B street. As you lose that on that presence, you know, from B street, you know, you're just waiting or watching them cross to your side of the map. You can't really contest them as they cross into the B site.
All right, well, we've got some sniper warfare coming in from either side, but it's Formal getting really aggressive with the M8 across mid. He's going to be pushing A.
Nobody had A from DT?
Yep, they've already got control of the site. Bomb should be going down. Let's watch Krim now. He's going to challenge, able to connect. There's the first blood coming in for Optic Gaming. Scump and Karma. Look, oh, they're pushed so far forward. Just terrified as DT to trying to push in a barn right now. Karma teasing them.
Where are the concussions from DT?
I don't know. They got the protect in. I don't think we've really seen them make an impact as of now. 3-on-3.
Coming around the flank is Krim 6. Looks like DT are aware of it.
Well, they traded out. 2-on-2 now.
Good discipline from Formal, by the way, not to shoot early.
Yep, and now he should. Wow, he just got destroyed.
It's rare you see Formal not kill somebody with
Formal misses the second burst. Scump shots off his wall as well. And the Bald Eagle, Killa coming up clutch.
He gets 3 in that round?
Excellent stuff from him. And that's a gunfight you've got to win. Now, let me look at Formal's. Was this the game? No, never mind. I was going to say, I wonder if that has to do with Stock, but Stock was game 1. So nothing there that should have been affecting him too much. He's got to hit that shot. I mean, he lines up the first burst and completely whiffs the second. Diabolic just turns and smokes him.
Like I said, Formal, he's so accurate with that M8 that you rarely see him have to put more than one burst into a player.
Yeah. That was certainly rare there. That's a kill he should have gotten. And now DT's won 3 in a row.
Overdrive.
Looking here to take game 2. Yep, Killa's going to pop it. So he's going to get out quickly here. Let's see if he can get into an aggressive position. Looks like he wants to soar towards B. And, oh, God, he's going to have to deal with 3 players right away. He's in trouble. He should be dead almost immediately.
And because, you know, you use that, tough for your teammate to get into a position to trade that kill, and now they're frantically trying to push up.
And that's exactly what it is. It ends up being almost a bait. They're like, oh, there's a player weak. We have to fly out. Yeah. And it doesn't end up being traded effectively whatsoever. Chino's by himself. That's exactly what I described earlier when I was talking about Overdrive. It's like it either works and you get that opening kill and it's beautiful, or that happens where you push, they try to come up behind it, and all 4 are dead in seconds.
Yeah, you know, you run into 3 opposing players. It's going to be tough to even find 1 kill there. Unfortunate timing from Killa, but, you know, it's rough because, like we were saying, your teammates can't run as fast as you. So they can't put themselves in a position to work those trades effectively.
It literally becomes almost a bait sometimes using Overdrive. And there you saw it in full effect, but Optic Gaming.
EMP, concussion. So they have 2 concussions to use.
Okay. So now so the B side is completely open right now.
Yeah, Krim 6 used his Overdrive, so he's going to have early position here.
He's set up pretty well. Formal pushed outside and won a big one somehow on Killa. Killa's got to be frustrated there. Had the superior positioning, but nice shots coming in from Formal. Formal might be able to tag up a second as well. So now it's going to be 2-on-2 as that gets traded out.
Scump coming around the flank. You can find both kills right here if he peeks out. Yes, spots one on the B stairs, sees the sniper. As he picks up the kill, he's like, you know what? I have no reason to challenge. Karma's going to be there to clean up the kill. You know, good decision from Sender just to commit to 1 player. But Optic Gaming, they win their gunfights as they tie it up 3-3.
Excellent job here from Optic as they've taken 2 in a row, giving themselves now a chance in this game too. And again, this is for me a must-win for DT. You have got to take this S&D on Infection. Right now, getting a little bit scary as you started off hot. You're going to be back to offense. Sender having a big game at 7-5. Let me check just for specialist abilities.
Well, nothing on the side of DT.
You just have a glitch for Formal.
Okay.
I think I saw a couple HCs. You saw an HC for Scump and an HC for Killa.
Oh, and players starting to drop for DT. Coming around the corner, it's Diabolic. He's able to respond with 2. Killa will find the third here, so it's down to a 1v1.
And
Killa
this is where
versus
Glitch.
Formal.
This is where Glitch is perfect, though. You're in a 1v1 and Formal has the Glitch. This is going to be very, very tough for Killa, because even if he gets first shot, it may not end up working out. And you're going to have an M8 going up against a sub. And
no tack mask on Formal, though, and Killa has a stun and a grenade to use.
Oh,
Stun
my.
him, perfect.
Able to tag him up with one. The stun looks good, but doesn't matter as Formal gets the burst through it. Woo!
That's it. This is the exact play Killa has in mind. He gets Formal kind of out of position, stuns him up.
Shouldn't have jumped. Wait for it to go off.
Because of the thruster, yeah.
Wait for it to go off. Like, he just shouldn't have jumped there. Wait for that hit marker to come through. He challenges basically before it pops. You know, it just does not have the desired effect, because he gets a pretty clear shot there. Formal does.
All right, so DT, they will have an HCXD to work with going into this next round. As a Formal, looks like he did use his glitch.
I didn't even know.
Did you say he had it available in that last round?
Yeah, 100% had it. I don't know. Maybe he used it before we got to him there in the 1v1, because he had it when I checked him to start the round.
All right, just making sure none of us are going crazy, but 2 down early on for DT. Scumpy will spot the third as he flies around the corner. He's going to get some help from Karma as they clean up that kill, and another straightforward round. It's all down to Killa in a 1v4. Can't make it down to a 1-on-3 as Formal cleans him up, and Optic Gaming, they're looking to close out this match.
Well, that's your worst nightmare as a player, is trying to challenge Formal with a sub at range. When he is an M8, you're just not going to win this gunfight. Even he got first shot, but that's just such a difficult engagement there. Nice shots from Formal coming in as Optic Gaming looking to close this one out. 1 round away from taking a 2-0 lead in the series.
Even if Killa finds that kill him to Formal, he's still got 3 other players to take care of.
Not
there we go. Here's some
easiest
concussions. They got 3 of them. Got to use the HCXT. Now, he did use it very early in the round, so this will give Optic Gaming time to change to a flak jacket class.
And let me see how many HCs you have on the other side. You have one for Formal as well. Krim ends up getting traded out. It's going to be a 3v3 here. Let's watch Killa yet again. That's, I think, Formal's HC now being taken out, but he's going to get beat up by Karma. Chino with the dirty snipe, but now he's in a 1v2.
That'll give him camo to use, though.
He has a camo. Can he make it a 1v1? The pressure comes in. Oh, this could be brilliant.
Oh.
This could be brilliant. Oh, God, he heard a player. He hears him boosting. No blast of pressure there. He's going to find one. Tries to find the second, but Scump too fast. Chino 2 tagged up, and that is a 6-3 Game 2 victory for Optic Gaming.
Yeah, great stuff from Scumpy here. Pre-aims exactly where Chino is coming from, catches him out of position. That was almost like the best timed camo from Chino there, as both players for a brief period of time were right next to those windows.
In a perfect world, he gets a kill, turns into a 1v1, and then can use his camo.
Yeah.
That would have made it a little bit easier, but he heard the noise as they were pushing him inside of Grandma's, not able to clutch up the 1v2, and Optic taking the victory. An uplink on evac. I mean, this is... I know if you're DT, you like uplink, you're good at the game mode, but this is a scary one to go up against Optic, especially being down 2-0. I just don't know how DT can rip off 3 straight.
I could agree with you there. Now, one thing that really separated Optic Gaming from DT in that search and destroy was the amount of first bloods Optic Gaming got.
Oh, sure.
I mean, so many times, that first blood would go unanswered. No trades coming in from DT. I could think of 2 rounds in particular where Optic Gaming, they opened it up, where there was like 3 kills that go unanswered from DT. Whenever you do stuff like that, it puts you in a rough situation to win that entire S&D match.
And you saw a couple times where it was, a little, not luck, but a little bit of luck on the play calls coming in
Fortunate
from Optic.
timing.
Twice they got really aggressive on A, nobody was home. They got really aggressive on B, nobody was home. And we saw them get plants in a 4v4 2 different times, I think, which can be, when you're a team like Optic, when you get that bomb down with 4 up, you're going to lock it down. But you can take a look at the stats here. Formal dropping double digits. Anything else stand out for you?
Nothing really in particular. I mean, Killa only goes -2, but so did two of his teammates. Nobody going positive on the side of DT. Krim pitches in with 8 kills of his own, but for the most part, it was really just Formal. Standout player for the most part.
Yeah, you saw him win it's when they were coming down to the wire. That was a snipe connecting after, I think, a couple of missed shots.
Or around 6 or 7 missed sniper shots in that first round.
But we'll see some highlights here from Game 2. As DT, again,
they started off strong. They go up 3-1.
They started strong, but I still...
So it was Optic Gaming. They won 5 straight rounds.
Optic going to be so tough to beat if you can't take the Game 1 hardpoint. That's the benefit you had the first time you played them. Not going to be the benefit you have the second go-around. And now they're just looking to get the sweep here. Do you give... I never want to say a team's out of it. You have some veterans. You have some young talent on the side of DT, but...
Sure.
how do you possibly, as good as Optic Gaming is with a 2-0 advantage, how do you possibly come back in this?
How can you expect to reverse sweep Optic Gaming? It's such a tall task, and going into a respawn game mode, well, 2 back-to-back, you need to find a way to match the slaying from Optic Gaming, as well as get it done in the objective department. And like we were saying in the hard point, you can't let Optic Gaming hang around. So for me, if DT don't go into the half, with some sort of lead whatsoever, I just can't see them taking the uplink. It's just so tough for them.
It is, yeah. But, we heard from some of you guys on Twitter regarding our question for this match. It's Nitsua coming in. We have a lot of love for Killa in this. Krim is going to go hunting for the Bald Eagle. I actually am pretty sure in North America that's illegal.
Yeah.
In Call of Duty, not so much. But Bald Eagles are a national treasure and national bird or animal or whatever the hell it is. I don't know. Look at an atlas. But I don't think you can hunt bald eagles.
What is an atlas going to tell you about bald eagles?
Does the atlas tell you, like, if you look at the countries, what their, like, national flower is and animal? Am I thinking of the wrong thing here? Encyclopedia? I don't know, man. You can't hunt bald eagles. That's all I know. They're rare. They live on cliffs. They have giant eggs. And they have the wingspan of Jack.
What?
I have no idea. All right, let's get to the ban and protect here for evac uplink. Standard thus far.
So far, aside from Kinetic Armor getting banned, even though Optic Gaming, I don't think they're too worried about that. Overclock, they're perfectly fine with that going as well. I like how Optic Gaming kind of timed these 2 bans, one right after another. They really don't want those tacticals to be in the game. Now it's time for High Caliber. Probably expect Rapid Fire to follow it up. And so far, I think these ban and protects are favoring Optic Gaming.
Yeah, the more standard it is, the better it looks for Optic for sure. And there's nothing remotely that stands out to me right now. And look, it's that the fact that you allow the back-to-back tactical ban. Scump, Formal, bang, bang, they're off. I guess why are you more scared of Kinetic than getting a protect on one of those?
I guess the one drawback is the other team can use the tacticals as well, but there's one thing that all top teams have in common is that they like to ban out the concussion and the flashback.
Yeah, they don't want to play with them.
Yeah.
They don't. They want to play fast. They view it as kind of an annoyance. It slows down the gameplay. It makes the gunfights more difficult.
Again.
All right, Kill is trolling at this point.
These are back-to-back ban and protects where Killa misses his pick.
And I'm trying to think if that really affects anything. I mean, I guess the Shiva is kind of the one that gets through, but the Shiva's not going to make that big of an impact on a map like evac.
Yeah. I'd honestly ban out something like the RK5.
Yeah, that could, because if you have your strong AR players like Formal, that secondary can be so big. But whether he has an Elcar RK5 or MR6, I think he's gonna make an impact with either. You see the picks coming in: Scythe for Chino, Scythe for Formal, standard there. We'll see if we have any differences. What do you think about Crimsix using Vision Pulse on uplink?
I like Vision Pulse. Like I was saying in the previous years, I think you always get good, consistent use out of something like Vision Pulse. I think it's a bit more amplified when Overclock makes it do because you can earn so many Vision Pulses. But it's going to be active camo on both sides. The Annihilator is going to be the difference here. Annihilator versus Vision Pulse on the side of DT and Optic.
All right, well, editing their classes now, their score streaks before we get ready to hop into uplink. This is one of my favorite game modes, definitely one of my favorite respawns.
This is the first game where I'm getting a first-hand look at uplink, and I'm really enjoying it.
Well, for those of you at home, again, Live Event Viewer has come out recently.
I want to see pictures of you using the Live Event Viewer.
We have a lot. Yes, we do. Tweet at us. But one thing I want to take a look at with the help of Activision, we made Uplink 101, kind of a tutorial video for those of you that might be new to Uplink. Let's take a look.
Uplink is a favorite mode within the esports community because of its fast-paced, aggressive nature. This mode features 2 teams clashing in an attempt to score a satellite drone into an enemy's floating uplink station. The drone will be spawned in a neutral point between players' locations. Players must then get to the spawn location to fight over control of the drone. Every drone thrown through the uplink station scores 1 point. However, 2 points are awarded if the drone is carried through the goal. Uplink forces players to push into enemy territories and to hold their position. The player with the drone loses their equipped weapon, but gains an additional protective armor, assisting them while their guard is down. After 2 rounds, alternating between map sides, the team with the most points wins the match. Uplink brings on a whole new aggressive gameplay that requires players to solidify their teamwork and conquer map control.
All right, awesome stuff there. There's
I
gonna be
didn't
a lot.
know you knew how to play Uplink.
Oh yeah, no, I'm a wealth of knowledge here. I mean, I don't get me wrong, I love Call of Duty. I cast it, I watch it, but I can't hang with you, man. You are the knowledge guy. You're a former professional player. I do the play-by-play. I
You
bring
don't need to gas me up, man.
I bring a crappy joke from time to time, and you know you're here to tell everyone how to play the game. And you know it's a lot of fun to cast with you, though. I'm really enjoying myself thus far as we are in day 1 of week 9, and there'll be more of those videos to come. And again, this isn't trying to dumb down things for those of you that have been watching competitive Call of Duty for
Still bring
years
the
and
new
years.
guys up to speed.
Exactly. There are a lot of new viewers coming in via live event viewer, or maybe some Black Ops 2 fans that just started watching again with Black Ops 3. Maybe you just play the Treyarch titles. Uplink.
I'm sure there are a lot of
new
guys just on Twitch TV. You see there are a lot of viewers in Black Ops 3. You're like, oh, what's going on?
Yeah. So
oh, Call of Duty World League. What's this?
welcome. I want to be as creepy as I could there. I think I did a good job.
You always do a great job of
We
being
just
creepy.
lost 65 viewers as but their parents made them turn off the TV. But all right, here we go. Let's hop into Uplink Evac, kicking things off with King Scumpy.
Let's take a look at what he has in store for us going into this Uplink match. Optic Gaming, they're going to start out on the favorable side. So, like I was saying, DT, they really want a good start to this, and you couldn't get any better of a start as all 4 go down for Optic Gaming. Diabolic so far pushed up in the lane. This is looking like a dunk for DT, assuming they can get these kills in their favor.
This is beautiful. He gets pushed back with the Simtex, but not before the damage is done. A dunk gets through, and that 2 points that 2 points is huge, Revan, because you're starting from the weaker side. That break at the beginning could be all the difference in this game.
Finally, Killer gets shut down, but DT, they've had time to spot it, but rotate. Now, one thing that kind of worked against them were the spawns there for Optic Gaming. They got 2-2 split spawn, spawning over near cages as well as over near kitchen. So Optic rotating back and fighting for position over near the neutral zone.
Yeah.
A bit easier when you get that split spawn.
And it can be pretty difficult to predict when you get 4 down like that. The pressure comes so quickly how the spawns are going to break down. But the fortunate thing is you do at least get the dunk through.
Yeah, those points are huge.
Yeah, they really, really are. I mean, think about what we saw on Strong side. The first side ended like 1-3 last game.
Yeah.
And I think Optic are going to put up a lot of big points, but I don't know what they'll be able to do from this side. You need to lock it down if you're DT.
Nice. Killer's having a huge game so far, 7-2, but you know, whenever you're going up against a team like Optic Gaming, you cannot take your foot off the gas pedal. You need to keep up the aggression. You need to keep making the kills, and it's so tough to consistently do that against such a strong team.
All right, well, now you're going to have drone in hand for Scump. Looks like they're going to want to wrap it top side here as they're going to be pushing through kitchen, trying to get set up. He's got Karma out front, his lead blocker. Remember he had on his gun. What was it, like blocker for Scump? Or he had
Scump guard?
Scump guard, that's what it was. And the melee comes in. No, don't get a second. Don't get a second. Did he get it off? He didn't get the toss there. A little bit delayed. Is Scumpy not able to put it through, so the lead will remain 2-0. And this is a really good opportunity here to maybe get points on the board. You see the lead man's going to be Killer. He wins yet another gunfight. Diabolic, your drone carrier.
That's a huge
He's wrapping wall, and there is Dunk. 4-0 lead from weak side here for Dream Team. They're coming alive here in the uplink.
Bit of a late heat wave from Diabolic, but it doesn't matter because they were able to get the dunk at the end of the day. That's all that matters, is that you put points up on the board. Killer being a bit ambitious, just pushing so far forward ahead of his teammates, but he's being the perfect bait right now as Sender moves in. He finds a couple kills. Early camo from Killer, just going for the 1-point toss. And
Beautiful.
He sinks it. Everything going well for DT. And this is a map where we kind of counted them out, but even though they're not on the stronger side,
you have to take advantage, though, and they're doing a really good job. You know, you got the early break with 4 down, and they haven't let their foot off the gas. Optic Gaming has not been able to get a hold on this game whatsoever, really. They had one attempted push. You didn't get the toss off. Outside of that, it has been all DT, but now Karma trying to get a break. You can see this power position. Chino has to stay alive here. If you allow Optic Gaming to get control of this spot, you are going to get flushed down the toilet in a hurry. He's managed to hold off for now. His teammates coming off spawn, but now the pressure coming through.
I think Diabolic intercepted that toss. Sender now trying to stay alive. That's a huge kill to make on Crim6, because that's going to allow Optic Gaming to waste a bit more time. Yeah, should be good. The heat wave comes in just to solidify it. So Optic Gaming, they do put points on the board, and they're still putting pressure onto the DT spawns.
Yeah, this is scary right now, but look where the spawn is coming, all the way at the top of the map. So they decide to split. One overextended. Sender should have come back. Yeah, he should have came back to the base instead of, I think, trying to overextend. But he actually might get to a good spot by drone. I thought maybe he would try to get back there and lock it off.
Toss it forward.
Well, this could work out if they get it to him and he can maybe get off a 1-point toss, but he's actually in a position now where he might be able to disrupt. I thought he was going to wrap the whole way around and flank drone spawn. There's the 1-point toss over the top. DT going to add 1 in, 6-3, still looking good for DT, but if you're an Optic Gaming fan, a much-needed 3 points getting on the board here from the strong
It's
side.
always scary when you choose to overextend like that and your teammates are still fighting for control of your own base.
It only worked because they won the
working,
gunfights. Yeah, if they didn't win those gunfights,
they're screwed.
Cinder, kind of screws the team there, but it ends up working out, ends up leading to a one-pointer.
Now Cinder just trying to hold glass control. Important lane to maintain if you're on the side of DT, but as 2 players fall, they're going to choose Rapid, but it actually banks off. It looks like, okay, you will be able to regain control. I think he just wall runs here, because even if he dies, the drone will fall off the map and it'll get reset. Diabolic, good movement here. He's running out of thruster. As he dies, the drone will get reset. As players start to drop for DT, Chino has to go big here.
Yep, and this is the scary position. Krim, if he would have been able to get this kill and get set up there, this would have been just, I think, a rally here to close things out. But as of now, they've only got 1 point through, but there's potential for more. Chino's picked up 2 big kills. Killing Formal and Chino here, not able to pick up the 3rd, though. Can they get any more points on the board? Scump still
DT
trying to
might be
disrupt.
able to.
DT's got it forward, though. Killa trying to make a play. I think he makes the wise decision here for a second to just kind of play it slow, but unfortunately for him, Scump's in behind. Time's going to trickle away. Should be a 2-point lead here for Dream Team.
So if you're Optic Gaming, obviously you're disappointed you're not going into the half with a lead while being started out on the stronger side, but considering on how that game started off, I think they're okay with the position they're in right now.
For Optic?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, you'd like to have a lead from that side.
For sure.
But like you said, it started so ugly that they kind of stopped the bleeding. They got a little bit of control. They brought it within 2. Now, this opening break is so important. You can see how much of a snowball a game like Uplink can have.
Annihilator.
Who are you checking?
Vision Pulse.
Are you checking through both?
Vision Pulse is the only thing available for Optic here. So, yeah, this could be a really good startup for DT if Chino could maybe take out a Scythe and put it to good use. But you got the lead. I think they might just be saving it for a defensive play.
Well, I think Krim
very
popped,
early on. Wow.
Krim popped the Vision Pulse. He popped the Vision Pulse, was able to give so much information.
All right.
And now they're flying through. This is not the opening you wanted. That's what can you say? You have to win the opening break if you're DT. The game's already tied. This is a scary spot, I think.
And now Krim can do some serious damage to DT if he's able to stay alive and continue slaying. He's just will pick up the neutral drone because you got 2 teammates pushed out near middle map. He's going to pass it over to Scump as he's got camo to use. That's exactly why he got the pass. And this is going to be Optic Gaming taking the lead within a minute.
45 seconds in, and they've got 2 dunks. This is DT's worst nightmare. Yeah. Optic in control. Scump is in the base, and he's going to catch one coming wall run. They have a car to go as well. Karma's got players to lead block here. This should be yet another dunk as
Karma
he's going to fly through.
Karma is the best player at resetting his armor with the drone.
And well, also look at DT. They had no idea what to do. They decide to kind of split. 2 overextended. So they've got drone spawn. That's the good thing. The bad thing is you have 0 control of your base right now as Scump is still picking up kills. Finally, they're going to pick him off. Now, Killa here's got to get a point.
He's using a Scythe
get a
right in front of him.
maybe.
Formal has a Scythe out, so he's going to go ahead and pop camo. But this might only result in a 1-point play, and yeah, I mean, at least it's a point on the board. It will stop the bleeding. It will allow DT to stabilize. Sender's going to go ahead and use the Annihilator here on the flank.
He doesn't realize
he can do some huge damage. He's going to spot a couple of players, but he's just more focused on going over near top AC. Yeah, Shriek's starting to get called in.
He picks
only
up
gets
one. Yep, not a big impact there as Scump and Krim pick up a couple
Krim's
kills as well.
on a 9 spree. He's got a Hellstorm, so he's the guy with Shrieks. And yeah, I think pinging that lightning strike, they're like, oh, well, one's on the flank. Looks like he will protect the drone carrier. Actually takes out Formal with that, so not protecting him a little bit there. But he's still gonna have a huge spree. Big impact on this game.
That's basically from the break, too. I mean, he just went off hot right from the get-go. Karma winning gunfights, using that heat wave, has a second at the corner. Just trying to find this player. Not able to get it yet. Now, they can't, or they decide not to get it off the map here, and that might end up punishing them. That's going to punish them. This is going to turn to points. That might actually end up turning into a dunk. That's one of those times where you think, hey, let's get aggressive. Let's try to counter instead of getting it off the map, and that is worst case scenario right there. You drop it kind of at that 60-yard line. It's on the aggressive position for Optic Gaming, and you've got Scump still wreaking havoc.
Perfect positioning from Scump. His teammates are on the other side of the map. He knows that DT are going to be spawning over near cages because they're blocking the spawn at kitchen. So Scump just puts himself in a spot to pick up some crucial kills, slowing down the push from DT. Optic Gaming now, the team with a 5-point lead. But Killa trying to keep his team in it. He's the lead slayer right now for DT at 21-21. Diabolic having a rough game, and he's the player we were highlighting coming into the series. Every time we see Diabolic make big plays happen, you see DT winning, but he's struggling right now.
Well, he's the man that needs to get it done with the drone. In past games, you've seen him be really big as a flag runner. as a scorer here with the drone. He can't get it off, not able to go over the top. Chino not there to pick off this player immediately, but it is going to potentially lead to 2. There it is, trailing by 3. Minute 40 on the clock. You can still do it if you're Dream Team. Optic Gaming trying to hold on here for the final 90 seconds and close this out to 3-0.
I thought he saw the shadow of the player above him. But listen, if DT get their ideal setup going, yes, they are still in this game, and they could find the way back, but everything has to go their way. Killer's actually going to maybe help out Optic Gaming, tossing the drone a bit closer to his base.
That absolutely does. You could have thrown it off to the left there and maybe got it off the map. Instead, you put it in a scary position. Thankfully, his team wins a gunfight there with Cinder and able to close that out. So this might actually be a pretty good position now for DT to counter.
Wait, Krim is here. Unable to finish the kill just yet, and he won't be able to do so, but no armor remaining on Diabolic. As he goes along that middle wall run, he gets cut down just short of being able to get that 1-point toss off. But it's going to be good spawns coming in from DT.
Scump just made a filthy play in this base, too. He picks up a 2-piece.
There's still time for them to make this happen.
Oh, there absolutely
They need to win all these gunfights, though.
And as you said that, they lost them all. Optic Gaming going big. They've got control now of drone. There's only 35 seconds on that clock. They're looking to close it out. Still a 2-point possession.
This could be a huge camo play.
You need a 1-pointer. You need something. There's the camo, but it's too late. He's tagged up. If he got that 1 second earlier,
I thought he was going for the beatdown.
Oh, maybe he had a chance.
That's
This has to be it. They need to score twice. Another point on the board makes you need 2 dunks.
Just don't run this back to their base and just turtle up there.
Well, if you get a 1-point toss here, it definitely closes it out. Because you're not going to be getting 2 dunks. Oh, he's still alive. He just wants to flush it home. He's teasing them now. There's no time.
DT. His teammates coming for the bait.
3-0'd with the quickness. Optic Gaming asserting their dominance here in the second matchup versus DT. There will be no magic. The dream is dead. They couldn't get the 2-0 overall series score here against Optic Gaming, but it's still a pretty awesome result to get that 1-1 with Optic throughout the course of stage 1. But what stinks if you're DT, what is so I guess makes it even more painful is the fact that CLG won the first game. That hurts.
This was close to a must-win match for DT to try to make it out of relegation, but man, Optic Gaming, it seems like every other map, it's a different player that goes big and just completely takes over the series. Here in this one, it was Crim60. Got some help from Karma as well. They just had phenomenal games. I mean, especially kind of, going into the second half without a lead. We thought that was going to hurt Optic Gaming, but they got it done on the bit of the weaker side.
They did. Well, fun stuff is always revving. Now let's take a look at our final matches here. I think H2K TSM still going on.
Yeah.
So if you're a Dream Team, you have to pray H2K gets a win. You want TSM to keep the dip. Well, that one, I mean, both of those winners kind of hurt, but I think TSM winning would be a little more painful.
I think for sure they want Team Caliber to lose here against FaZe.
Well, no, they want... Well, yes. Yeah. They need TK to lose, and then I don't think Elevate Envy really matters. The other side of that, Luminosity versus Rise, you need Luminosity to lose as well. So the good thing you have right now if you're DT is the fact that you have basically Rise, Nation LG, and Team Caliber FaZe. FaZe and Rise heavy favorites in that. So that's I guess the one positive.
Okay.
What hurts is that CLG victory, which if you came in, when you and I looked at the schedule tonight, we were like, oh, these are just brutal matchups for the teams on the bubble.
Yeah, quite frankly, they seem like some one-sided matchups. I mean, for sure, Optic Gaming fared against. Got to look at the scoreboard there as we move into some of the highlights. But just to reiterate, because I know we didn't get a chance to talk about it, Chino goes 30-24, but a rough game from Diabolic at 13-26. Killa did what he could at the beginning of the game, but he kind of slowed down towards the end. But on the side of Optic Gaming, Krim finishes at 33-20. Scumpy goes 28-21 with 4 dunks.
Yeah, and Scump's going to be, he's that drone carrier, man. He needs that lead blocker. A lot of times it's going to be Karma pushing out.
He's taking on more of like an objective role, but he's still phenomenal when it comes to slaying.
Well, that's the difference between elite objective players and not elite. Being able to put up those big numbers at the same time while doing the dirty work. And, there's only a handful of players that are really good at doing that.
If you were to pick a role that you play, what's your role?
My role is bait.
Just bait
all of my teammates and pick up the kills, which, honestly, I'm excellent at.
So is Mr. X. Mr. X is the worst at that.
I actually am not. I get really crazy, actually, because I don't very much patience. So I actually like to fly at people.
Okay.
Matt is he is the epitome of the worst human in existence to play games with like that, because he will just bait everyone. He's terrible.
Matt goes, I will not touch the objective at all. I will look over you, and I will just use you as bait so I can find more kills.
As I pick up 0 kills. But coming up next here on the Alpha broadcast is going to be Team Caliber going up against FaZe Clan. TK desperately needs a win. We'll be right back.
guys from Apotheon. A couple of players dropped
There
the
we
shot
go.
there from Exciting. Got there in the end. Players looking to contest a little bit far forward there as well for them. As he pushes on forward, you know, he's looking for these players. Whereabouts these players can be located. Spots one, spots the second, gets the shot. There's the triple kill.
What you got for us, please? And no, not going to happen. Tommy straight away finds the head and a second as well, shredding through the assault. And that's a third. He's lining them all up. There's one man. It is the bomb carrier. We have to see if Jays is going to steal this ace away from Tommy, because it doesn't look like likely. He's going to pull out the SVG and the VMP. He's got them both. Jays draws blood and it makes it very clear that the potentially could happen. The glitch! Oh, Tommy! He brings it home in style.
Armor going to get popped here by Miracles as Complexity. They're going for this last second pull. 15 seconds remaining on the timer. Miracles has his flag in end. He's going to be running this one right up the middle of the map. Big kills need to be made by Ricky right here. Needs to shut down this push from H2K. Finds one. Trying to follow it up once again. He gets shut down.
Strap
Time
on
starting to
your
wind down.
Nikes. Can
He's
you
got to
get
go.
there?
Can he hit it? 1 second.
He gets it through, and that is a clutch G-slide there.
The rotation has reset, and Nimble managing to stay on top of the map, picking off the kill, going forward. His team getting a double. The War Machine out from Azzy there as well, might add, before he got shut down. Nimble just able to clean up and complete the kills. 25 points away, I might add, from his score streaks. Scratch that, he's already got him.
Stop it, Nimble!
Yeah.
He's gonna dodge one. He's gonna heat wave another.
Oh my God.
What in the world?
Where's the return? He gets that as well. Diabolic is a monster. 3-2 advantage for DT. He's so healing. He's still killing people. Diabolic is on a rampage. 5 streak. That was unbelievable stuff as DT takes the lead.
Being a part of the Call of Duty competitive scene has honestly been almost a life-changing experience for me. I love everything about it. It's the connections you make with your teammates, with all these other pro players, with the fans that you meet at these events. We're all hanging out, we're all having a good time. I started off playing video games at a very young age, so I always knew growing up that I really enjoyed video games. I finally got introduced into MLG and saw the tournaments and saw that there's people playing for thousands of dollars and stuff like that. And I remember thinking in my head, I want to do that. I'm a slayer, which means I just kill as many people as I can. I'm mainly supporting my teammates who are doing all that objective work. I went through a bit of a low point in my career at the very beginning of Advanced Warfare, this past Call of Duty. I was on Optic Gaming for an entire year during Call of Duty Ghost. Optic Gaming is kind of the pinnacle of Call of Duty organizations in terms of fan support. And then I ended up getting dropped at the very beginning of Advanced Warfare before we'd even played together, before we'd even scrimmaged. I understand now where they were coming from. When you have the chance to get 2 high-caliber players like Formal and Crimsix, it's kind of a no-brainer. But looking back on it, you know, I kind of got released in a really, really unfortunate way. We played them at Call of Duty Championships, and I said that tweet, throw me to the Wolves and I'll come back leading the pack, because the team I was on Denial was called the Wolf Pack, and so it worked out perfectly in terms of us being the Wolf Pack, and they threw me to the Wolves at the beginning of the game, and, you know, at the end, we ended up beating them and winning that $1 million tournament.
My team is myself, Karma, Scump, and Crimsix. They've been Call of Duty gods for as long as I've known about Call of Duty.
We have like 4 of the best Call of Duty players to ever touch the game on consoles.
Crim is more the in-game leader. He goes over and gives the most advice.
Scump will be the guy who's just always throwing a joke in there, like just to like lighten up the mood. And Karma's just the guy who, when you know he's talking, it's something serious.
Then you have Formal, who's our AR player or assault rifle player. He's more of sit back, hold lanes. We go at each other's necks a little bit online. We're gonna fight, we're gonna butt heads, we're gonna have arguments. We're not gonna agree all the time.
Whenever there is a tense argument going on, I'm usually the guy that's like, bro, let's just relax. We're just 4 best friends.
We have a great time in and out of the game.
Goal this year is sort of to get revenge for last year. I think that everyone is still pissed off about the whole 7th place thing.
Going in with the best team that I've had at a Call of Duty Championships to have my worst placing, it was heartbreaking.
We made it to the finals of every tournament but that tournament.
No one else thought they could beat us. No one thought they could even touch us at a thing.
That's probably the most mad I've ever been in my life.
I think we all kind of learned last year what not to do this year. There's no way that we're going to let that happen again.
B drop, Slasher was in the action too. He's able to get one. The drone still down. What a heat wave coming in from Karma. Can they make the plays? The drone's still drowned. It's right in front of Slasher. They get it for a second, but he's by himself. He's getting pinched from both sides. This is nuts.
He is putting down tons of shots. How is Slasher still alive?
I have no idea. He gets another. The drone is reset though. So all this time, all he's done is at least keep them pinned.
Well, Slasher has gone on an unbelievable seven streak in their base.
There's still a scythe in play. The specialists most definitely are not dead. Coming around that corner, looking fierce. 8 seconds and counting. He keeps him safe. He's completely locked it down. Nolson, the bodyguard, is going to scoop it up and make it to 7. That is an astounding round. One to remember.
Heat wave gets hit. What a perfect use of that specialist. He stops the dunk from coming in. That is definitely a play to keep in mind. Classic with Afterburner. One player to beat, though. That's wall running as well. He turns around, passes it to his teammate. Mooney moving it forward with the drone. He's got overdrive. He's going for the dunk. Is he going to float on in? No, that was so anticlimactic. The story of my life as he uses the...
we got to score. It doesn't matter. Yes! The greatest upward play ever.
Looks like they should be able to at least put a 2-point play on the board here. Yeah, they have an opportunity. And he's got kinetic as well. So they have an opportunity to actually make this happen. You're going to see the drone get into the hands of Optic. Slasher picks up, not able to toss it for yards, though. It's actually going to be...
They got this. I think they have a chance. You got to toss it. Turn around. You got to run. 6 seconds left. They should be able to get the dunk. And there it is. Tie game. Optic Gaming. 3 seconds left. We've got OT.
Try and get a pick here. Nogpen's going to toss in a nade, try and get a hit marker, but I don't think they have any idea spaces in that corner.
Oh, you got to be kidding me. Look how cocky this is. He's alive.
Really?
He flies in, tries to no-scope one. He watches his teammate drop. Is he going to be able to connect with this thing? There it is. Aqua, man on a mission right now. He buys a second. He's a maniac. He shouldn't be alive in the first place. And then he soars in one. Woo! Aqua, you filthy, filthy man.
My mom supported me for most of my gaming career, and my dad didn't really start supporting me until I won the COD Champs. He also wanted me to keep my grades up, do my homework, study for tests. He just wanted what's best for me, like any parents would. But now they're like full-fledged into it. They have Twitter, and they watch all my videos on YouTube. Everything, they're just very supportive now. I took a semester off college because I just knew I was going to be doing a lot of traveling. It would have just been really tough to keep up in school and to like be the best player I could be for my team. I'm a submachine gun player, so I'm always like in your face, running at people, do the objective, cover my teammates if they need cover, or just go to the lane that's open. Call of Duty 4, when I first started playing, I placed top 8 my first event. I started my first live stream and people came out to watch. FaZe Clan has a ton of fans, and now that I'm on FaZe, there's just a bunch of them. They're always tweeting us, congratulating us. I'm just gonna keep writing it out, keep doing my absolute best. I don't think I have a personal, biggest rival, but since we're on FaZe, probably Optic Gaming, because last year, FaZe won an event, and then Optic won 3. Clayster, myself, Replays, and JCap were on Denial. We beat Optic at Call of Duty Championships and won that tournament, and then Optic won the next 2 tournaments, and then when we formed our new team with myself, Zuma, Enable, and Clayster, we beat Optic 3 times on LAN, and they haven't beat us yet on LAN, so it's really fun when we play them. They're probably the best team in the game. I always love hanging out with them, but when we're in game, we're rivals, we just gotta play each other, and it's always really fun because it's always an intense match.
Every day, I probably get 5 tweets on my Twitter asking, how do you become a pro gamer? Do you have any tips? You have to be dedicated, put a lot of time into it. You have to be patient. I've been putting in 8 to 12 hours a day. Eventually, if you're a good player, you'll get recognized. Just from playing video games, they come up and say, hey, dude, I'm a big fan. I appreciate what you do. And I think it's cool that someone wants me to write sharp on a piece of paper because I play video games. Right out of high school, I was traveling a lot. We were going to London. We went to Germany and stuff like that. So, my family is like, why can't you hang out? And I'm like, well, I'm doing this. I have to play in this tournament. They've been to some of my tournaments. They usually watch all of them online, and my mom will sit there and watch my stream sometimes when I'm playing. So it's nice to have a supportive family. My brothers, they think it's pretty crazy. There was a tournament in Columbus that I went to, and they all had mullet wigs on because my whole thing is mullet nation because I'm from Kentucky. So they were all rocking mullet wigs, screaming in the crowd. So it was pretty cool to see them out there. I think my team this year can go as far as any other team can go. I think we're one of the best teams. Black Ops 2 was Team Caliber's best game as an organization, so I think Black Ops 3 would just be the same thing.
Optic Gaming gets the quick 3-0. Coming up next, though, your 25K champions, FaZe Clan, going up against Team Caliber. Now, TK, a team that really needs a win, like CLG, and they are two sides of a different coin. When you basically saw what Team Caliber hasn't made any team changes, really. You've seen CLG make the changes, at least so far today. It's made an impact. Can TK get a win is the question.
It's going to be tough. You're going up against a very strong team in FaZe, but I was talking to Nezo last night. I was playing some matches with him. They feel confident going up against FaZe, and they think they're going to be able to take this match.
It would be a big, big win, but they need Goon. Goon has been, their lead slayer really in every capacity. It's been that second guy
You can make an
help
argument
him.
that he's been the best on the team.
He really, in my opinion, he has been. But what is it about him? What do you like about him as a player? How has he been succeeding thus far?
I really like the versatility of Goonjar. I mean, sure, you see him with an assault rifle in his hands most of the time, but when it comes down to it, he's not afraid to bring out an SMG and help his team with the aggression.
Very, very true. We saw him, throughout Advanced Warfare a lot of times with that ASM-1, trying to make an impact with the sub. He can really do it all. He can be very versatile, even though he's more known for that AR role. Now on the other side, again, the 25K champs, FaZe Clan. They go big this week. They 3-0 H2K in the finals. They get a 20-0 win in the uplink. They go absolutely massive. And now we've seen Clayster. He was running a sub for a while. He's reverted back to his more standard AR role, and you've kind of seen that paying off dividends for this team.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And Clay's a player who, as of late, he hasn't been doing too spectacular in the respawn game modes, but he's been performing very well in the search and destroys. But, I mean, look at this roster, man. It's tough to consistently perform well in the hard points when everybody has the capability to pick up a lot of kills.
Yeah, it's like Optic in the way that you have four people very, very capable of getting the slaying done. Very similar in a lot of these roles as well. But shortly here, we're going to hop into the ban and protect here for FaZe. Going up against TK, what can TK do to mix things up? Because they're a team that sometimes falls in that trap of playing standard game against a team that wants to play a standard game.
Yeah, I mean, that's been TK's game plan since day one. They're another one of those teams that they like to get rid of the tacticals. They like to get rid of high caliber and rapid fire. They're not afraid just to use all four of their bans on stuff like that. FaZe, they consistently go after the HCXD. I think TK, they have to do something different. I'm just not sure what they do, or at least what they should do.
Yeah, if we had the perfect answer for that, we'd be in a different career trying to find what will work for them. You see Concussion, you see Flashbang both coming off. I think one of those might have been able to make an impact for TK potentially if they could slow things down going up against FaZe. You still have Rapid Fire in this one. And
Purifier still in.
That's true. Purifier we saw get banned in the first series. Second series ends up making it through and makes a huge impact for Cinder. Not enough, though, to get the win over Optic Gaming.
All right, so now moving into the last two bans. It's going to be a Man of War ban from Goonjar. That is certainly interesting because the M8 still very good. XR2 good as well.
But it's Clayster. Clayster's been he's been using the Man of War on just about every map recently. We've seen him use it all through the weekend. He was using that Man of War. He likes the fact, one, it's powerful, but two, you're a little bit better that close to mid-range than you are with a burst rifle. And I'm not shocked to see that. It looks like TK's been doing their homework.
I mean, yeah, on a map like Stronghold, you're not going to be fighting like super long-range engagements, right, where the M8 would be king over for the most part. The SMGs are going to be up close and personal. It's going to be a lot of medium-range engagements, and that's certainly somewhere where a gun like the Man of War can shine.
All right, well, now let's watch our specialist draft here. You see Purifier coming in for Theory. Going to be so important, that bunker hardpoint. And, okay, all right, yeah. So Nable takes it. You're on Scythe on both sides.
Camo versus Heatwave.
That'll be the difference. Now, I like both of those in the sense that they're effective in breaking into bunker, whether you're trying to fly in with the heat wave or use the camo to pick off that Purifier
player. It's so
player.
tough to rank them, like comparing them to each other. Like, I think camo, I mean, sure, you could, I see big plays made with both specialists, like, on a consistent basis. Like, if you had to rank, like, the specialists, like, in order, it's just so tough to do.
No, I could not agree more. They all have their levels of effectiveness depending on what hardpoint it is, what map it is. Those two near the top. Now, on Twitter, we'd love to hear your guys' opinion on this. Do you believe that Team Caliber needs a team change? Do they need to mix things up? What's the answer for this squad? Because they are one of the few teams that's been struggling that hasn't gone and made any changes. They've kept the same four. It's been a four that they've used at one point throughout the previous several titles, except I don't what, they had it in Black Ops 2, right?
Yeah.
Ghost, I don't think, AW, do they have this at 4? Or am I mixing up Ghost and AW?
Don't ask me about Advanced Warfare.
The fact is, these 4 guys have played together through many titles. They play together quite a bit. Team Caliber, not usually a team that goes for drastic changes. They had Looney at one point that I thought was big. Picked him up early when he was starting to shine. But
Clay used to be on TK.
Yeah. They've had some big stars in their team, but I guess I'm of the opinion that let's wait and see how it goes. They've decided, at least to this point, roster lock is in. They're gonna have to play out stage 1 with this 4.
I don't even know who their substitute is.
If they, I'm not even sure if they have one. Some of the teams didn't opt to go with substitutes. They probably do, but I'm not sure who the sub is on the roster. But if they make it into stage 1, and if they make it in the top 8,
but somehow they always find a way, right? It's just that TK magic. Things aren't looking too good for them. Their backs are against the wall. They're in must-win scenarios, and they find a way to get a win and make it into the top 8. So it certainly wouldn't surprise me if TK somehow managed to find their way into the top 8 going into the stage 1 playoffs. But, speaking about should they make a roster change, well, TK has consistently been that team that's been adamant against making a roster change. They've always been preaching chemistry and sticking together and fighting through tough times.
Yeah, they certainly have been. But, that one time they do end up coming a little bit short and not making, let's say they don't make it into stage 2. Let's say they go to relegation. Let's say they don't make it into stage 2. You might need some kind of fresh start, right?
Yeah.
For that organization to try and maybe get some fresh blood in, mix things up a little bit. But you're taking a look now at the Stronghold Hardpoint map.
Number 5, baby.
Number 5 is going to be
All
the big one specifically.
guys, this has been your boy Tunes Wasted, and hold on, I'll check your comments. Been your boy Tunes Wasted, and peace. I'm out.